Good morning, Lifestyle is Healthers. It's Vicky Midwood here on this wonderful bank holiday weekend and Friday. Welcomes to all of you. We are using StreamYard, so if you do want to allow StreamYard to let you make comments, please do just click the link above this and you can do that. Please do tell us who you are, and we'd love you to participate, because today I am so honoured and delighted to have the amazing Carole Johnston with us. Now, Carole, we met, didn't we, in a networking group?
We did.
Absolutely hit it off, because I've heard of the technology and the stuff that Carole's going to share with you guys, but I'm pretty certain that most of you have not. Hi, I don't know who that is, Facebook user, but hello. If you can let me know who you are, that would be awesome. I know your name will show up for you, but it's not showing up for me. So if you can just say it's blah, blah, that would be great. So Carole, tell people about what you do and why I got so excited about talking to you.
Right. Well, I work with a company who develop and market and manufacture wearable neurotechnology, which sounds incredibly complicated and really difficult and all the rest of it. But if I just give you a little brief going over of who I am and how I got involved and all the rest of it. I live in the southwest of the UK. I'm a mother and a grandmother, so I'm really pretty old. I've always been active, lots of sport at school, and was a squash coach, and 25 years of working in the health industry. And when we closed our health, my husband and I closed our health studio in 2015, I was so bored, I can't tell you. We'd been working 6 days a week for 10 years and hadn't really sort of thought about retiring. And then suddenly it was almost as if we were paying to keep the studio open. Yeah, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
And so when a friend of mine said, "Have you seen these socks that are coming to the UK shortly?" I said, "And do you know what? I really don't want to be involved with socks. I mean, it doesn't sound very exciting, does it?"
That was my reaction the first time I heard about socks. I was exactly the same. What? Socks? Why are we using socks?
Absolutely. So anyway, he persuaded me that I should try a pair. So I bought a pair, and do you know what? I was so disappointed, I can't tell you. I'm lucky. I'm old. I don't have anything really wrong with me, a few aches and pains and what have you. And I wore the socks religiously for 3 weeks, and I didn't feel any different at all.
Right.
Until one day I was playing badminton with a friend of mine, and she said, "You're moving really well. I mean, when you get to nearly 80, you don't run, you just move a little quicker."
You want to just repeat that again for people who are listening, because I don't think they're going to believe that you're nearly 80.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. I sometimes don't believe it myself, actually. Anyway, I was hitting the shuttlecock better, and I was moving better and all the rest of it. And that made me think, well, yeah, I have got a bit more energy, and maybe there is something in these socks after all.
Right.
And then I noticed a few days after that actually I didn't have that pain in my neck anymore.
Uh-huh.
That pain that when I went up and downstairs, and my hip wasn't there anymore. And It suddenly came to me that actually I needed to find out a bit more about it.
Yeah.
So that's when I started getting a bit more interested in actually what it was. And if I can show you, we have these socks, and can you? Oops, where am I going? There we go.
Yeah, that's it.
Pattern.
Yeah.
That pattern is woven into the socks and embedded in insoles. Oh,
Yeah.
Can't get the camera right.
Yeah, that's it.
Back to front.
We can see that. That's brilliant.
And that pattern, when it touches the skin, it's, I suppose in layman's term, the easiest way to describe it, it's like a Control-Alt-Delete switch for the brain.
Yeah.
It just balances the brain, and it stops it being in that constant fight or flight. Oh my goodness, what's going on?
Yeah.
And when it's all nice and balanced, then it can the body can deal with all the other stuff that's going on.
Brilliant.
So that it helps to manage pain. It improves balance. You get up to 31% more balance, more mobility, more quality of life. It helps to maximize the performance of athletes. So it's not only older people and people who are in pain. And it does so almost instantly without drugs, invasive therapies, magnets, chemicals, and no side effects, and is age and pregnancy safe.
Right,
So
and that's why I like it, because of all those reasons. And as the people who are watching here will know, I am very much against relying on medication, especially when it comes to pain medication.
Yes.
Because we know that it just causes havoc with the guts, with the hormones, with the neurotransmitters, and everything else. And this technology, I mean, it came from America, didn't it, originally?
Canada.
From Canada, right?
Yes.
And then it came over here. Am I right in saying it came over about 2 years ago?
January last year.
Right, so it's pretty new. So I was aware of it a couple of years ago, I think, and then it came over here, and I met someone. But I have done. I'm so glad that you shared with people that you thought that they weren't doing anything to start with, because I've had people who have tried the socks and said exactly the same thing, and it's usually because they've not necessarily got a very obvious issue going on, but it's those little niggles that you suddenly realize are not there. And one of the things I love about this is obviously it is safe for people who are pregnant, and it is safe for people who may be taking a lot of medication anyway and don't want to be adding painkillers or anything else to that. And you kind of forget you've got it on, don't you? It's it fits. So I'm wearing the sleeve. You're wearing the sleeve as well, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
And this is to help with focus a lot of the time, and concentration, which people who know me know I need a lot of help with that. But also, it's for kids as well. There's no age barrier, is there? There's a range for children, and it's just so accessible. One of the things, and if you can share a little bit more, because what really drew me to it was it can help with things like ADHD and autism as well, can't it? So do you want to explain a little bit more about how that kind of can help? Because it's working on neurology, and it's working on the nervous system.
Yes. People sometimes sort of say, well, is it like reflexology? And I always say, well, reflexology is points on the feet that react with a particular organ.
Yes, that's right.
Whereas this technology works with the brain.
Correct, it does. Yeah.
So and different parts of the brain. So the HPT, which is the human performance technology, which is in the socks and the insoles, that works on the midbrain.
Yeah.
And that sorts that out, that puts that into balance.
The balance is one of the things for that, isn't it?
Yes.
Balance and pain. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But it balances the brain, so the brain is calm and level.
Yeah.
But this is called cognitive boost technology. This works on the front and the back of the brain.
Yeah.
And it, as you say, it's concentration, focus, memory. And another little example, I'm about to work at an international tennis tournament at the beginning of next month. And there is, with COVID, people coming in from abroad, booking hotel rooms. Where do we put them? They can't mix with the other guests. Ugh. Yeah. And I've been in a real tiz about that. Or I was one day. I was having a real, those moments when I can't do it all. It's just too much.
Yeah.
And I realized I wasn't wearing my sleeve.
Right.
And I put it on, and within about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I was sitting down and I was saying, right, now I need to do this, and I need to do that, and I need to do that. Yeah. The tech was originally, this cognitive boost technology was originally developed for students sitting exams. The guy in Canada, his children were taking, I think they were at university and taking exams, and they were saying that a lot of their friends were taking pills to keep them awake, and then pills to put them to sleep, and having real trouble, remembering stuff and learning. So he came up with this, and that's how it got started. So it was for that. And then, like the other tech, they're finding different things out about it.
Of course.
Because it's only been going since it'll be 5 years in July. The company's been going, so they're finding all sorts of different things. So they're finding that children, particularly, and adults with ADHD and on the spectrum, are really calmed by wearing the sleeve. It's difficult because some people with those conditions are very tactile sensitive. They don't like having a sleeve or a sock on. Necessarily, but those that will tolerate it find it's absolutely fabulous. We have a lovely video of a little boy called Woody. He's about 6, I would think, something like that. And his mother's got him sitting down, and he's going, I don't want to do this. And he gets up and he goes and kicks the furniture. And I don't want to do it. And she's being really calm and saying, well, just do this. Just, write that little bit there. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
And then it stops. And then you see him sitting at his desk with his sleeve on, writing away. And Mother says to him, so how do you feel when you've got your sleeve on, Woody? And he says, I don't rampage as much.
Oh, bless him. Oh, I love it. So, and this is the thing, and it does work, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, you can't just keep taking it on and taking it off, though. You have to keep on wearing it through the day.
Yeah, well, the sleeve works. Well, it all. It's like wearing your glasses. When you haven't got it on, got them on, you don't see as well.
Yeah.
The socks and the insoles, you need to wear 24/7. I wear at least one sock to bed every night.
Right.
Really found that odd to start with because I never wore socks to bed. I still find it a bit strange in the summer. But I want my brain in that nice, calm place for as long as possible.
Right.
It's really important, and they are finding that people's brains are changing as they wear the tech more.
Yeah.
With the sleeve, you don't wear that to bed because you don't want your brain working through the night.
And it's a little bit uncomfortable when you've been wearing it all day.
Yes.
You kind of know about it, don't you? It's quite a relief to take it off.
Yes. So you wear it when you need to be focused and calm and have good memory, and most of the time, actually. Yeah. I wear it most of the time.
Well, for me, definitely. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. So tell us a little bit more then about you being involved in this tennis tournament and what you're going to be up to, because it sounds like you're just non-stop.
I love it. Do you know what? Isn't life funny? Back in 1980, when I was a kid, we used to have a really big tournament in Bristol, big tennis tournament. We had all the top players the week before Wimbledon, men and women. I mean, the real top ones that most people wouldn't remember now, but Rosewall and Laver and all of those sort of people.
Right.
And I used to ball boy, and then when I was a teenager, we used to have these gorgeous Americans to stay with the family, and I fell in love every summer, and it was just. And then things changed, and it went professional, and we didn't have it for a while, and it came back in 1983.
Right.
I went to watch. And you know what? I hate public loos. Portaloos.
I think hands up, most of us do.
And I thought, if I become involved with the tournament, I can go in the clubhouse and use the proper loos. So I offered to be a courtesy car driver.
Right.
And from that one decision, that one thought, with tennis, I've been to Moscow, to Beijing, to Doha, to Tashkent, Uzbekistan.
Wow.
I've done tennis in the Albert Hall, in a tent in a park, and I'm still doing. I now only do one tournament a year, but it's the one in Birmingham in Edgbaston Priory Club, and it's the biggest ladies only event in the country.
Wow.
And I look after the players, so I have to deal with all their courtesy cars and their hotel accommodation. And with the COVID at the moment, it's just
wow. I can imagine that is a full-time job when you're on it. It must be like absolutely non-stop. That's incredible. And I just want to pick up on what you said, because that was from one thought that was driven by a I don't want. And I think I just want to highlight that, because oftentimes we have, when coaches particularly are asking clients, well, what do you want? What do you want? Sometimes we don't necessarily know what we want, but we're very clear on what we don't want. And
absolutely.
It was that driving don't want decision that because you took notice of it and acted upon it, you have had the most amazing opportunities. And I just love that story, because it just highlights how it can happen in just an instant.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've no idea where these little thoughts will take you.
Yeah.
And
if
you
it's
just
following through, isn't it? It's following through on it and going, I had the thought, but you actually made the next step to
Yeah.
say, how can I help, offer to drive, and that's awesome. But tell us about what you'll be doing, because it's bank holiday weekend. So are you involved in the tennis this weekend, or have you got a weekend off before it all starts?
Well, no, because of COVID, of course, everything's been a bit delayed, because we have to have special forms now to send out to the players for more information. In the past, they've just sent me an email. Hi, Carole, I'm coming on such and such day. But now we have to have a special form. So that's been a bit delayed. So I shall be working on that pretty much all weekend. But one of the things that I shall be doing this weekend, and I'm quite excited about, is when we retired, we moved to this teeny tiny bungalow in North Somerset.
Right.
And it is tiny. And we didn't have a garage. And my husband was a bit of a hoarder. He'd been a builder. So he had loads of bits of wood, boxes of nails, things that had moved 14 or 15 times with us. And he would never get rid of them, because you never knew it might be coming useful. Anyway, he built a 6x6 shed in this tiny back garden. And it was full to the gunnels with stuff. And he died last year. So I've been wanting for ages to get that emptied. My grandsons and my daughter came up last weekend and they emptied it. And this weekend, I'm going to take the cladding off the outside of the shed.
Yeah.
So that I have a gazebo.
Fantastic.
Now, won't that be brilliant?
Especially because the weather's supposed to be glorious this weekend as well.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, well, that's going to be fun. Absolutely fun. Well, I hope you have a lovely, lovely weekend doing that. So,
Thank you.
if people are interested in getting their hands on either the socks or the insoles or the sleeve that we've been talking about, or they just want to find out a little bit more about the tech, where can they find you? Where do you hang out, Carole?
Right. Well, I think probably the easiest thing is to because our website is quite complicated.
Yes, it is.
You'll agree with that, won't you?
Yeah. There's just so much on there. You don't quite know where to go.
No, exactly. So probably the best thing is just to email me.
Right.
And I can send them a link then. It's Carole Johnston 21@gmail.com. And don't forget the E in Carole and the T in Johnston.
Love it. We'll put that link above this video so that people are just copy and paste it. And they can connect with you, because you are on Facebook. Yeah. So they can connect with you, but you're not Carole Johnston on Facebook, just to let you know. Don't find the wrong Carole Johnston, because I nearly did. I nearly sent somebody a message this morning and that's not my Carole. That's Carole Hallam.
Hallam, yeah. I'm Carole Johnston for the business, because my husband always used to say, this is Carole's hobby that costs me money. So he wanted to be disassociated with it.
Right, fair enough. The thing about this tech, though, is when it comes to pain management and balance and stuff, it's one of those things where you have to just try it, because it does work, but you have to be open to the fact that you might not understand how it's working. You don't necessarily need to, do you?
No,
you just need to know that it does. And I think one of the things that's a real kind of clue to it, and you touched on this a couple of times, is if you don't wear it, you notice the difference so much. And then when you do then put it back on, you're like, oh my God, yeah, it absolutely is making a difference. It's a little bit like taking vitamins or supplements. You don't necessarily know that they're helping you, but when you stop taking them, you kind of go, oh my God, okay. Yes. So I would urge people that if you are somebody who is popping painkillers and you know that it's not doing you any good, and you want an alternative that is medication free, that absolutely works, please do check out Carole and her wearable tech. Carole, it's been an absolute joy.
Can I just say one quick thing?
Yeah.
We do have a 30-day money back guarantee.
Brilliant.
So if you want to try it, then you find that it doesn't work for you for whatever reason, or you don't like it or whatever, I'll give you your money back.
Right. So for a lot of people, but I'm just going to caveat that. That doesn't mean to say that you wear it for a couple of days, don't wear it.
No, no.
Don't wear it and then say it doesn't work. You do
Yeah.
have to be consistent with that trial. And I can absolutely hold my hands up and say that the company is brilliant about taking stuff back. There's no arguments. It's the Carole. It's very easy. It's very straightforward.
Actually, do you know what? I do it personally and deal with it. So all they have to do is tell me, and I will personally give them their money back.
Right, brilliant. So on that note, folks, there is no excuse for you to not to try it out if you have got any of the issues that we've mentioned. It's really good stuff. I can't recommend it highly enough.
Thank you, Vicky.
And it's been a delight to know a little bit more about you. And I'm going to wish you a wonderful weekend, taking your cladding off and making it with you. And I'll speak to you, no doubt, in a meeting very soon.
Thanks, Vicky. It's been lovely to talk to you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.